Hi, I'm Dr. John Lund, author of How to Hug a Porcupine. The problem is never that people don't love each other, folks. It's not about that. When people get divorced, it wasn't because there wasn't a time they didn't love each other. It was their inability to resolve their conflicts in healthy ways. That was the heart and core of 99.999% of all those relationships that either terminate or if they stay together in a roommate kind of a capacity, not really emotionally married or committed, but nevertheless in the relationship. Now, how do we avoid that? How can we stay connected? Well, we're talking about criticism, and I'd mentioned that the way that my wife wants to be approached is to have me write it down, and then I give it to her. She processes it and gets back to me, and there's only one of three responses. One, I thought about what you're going to say, and I want you to know that I've thought about it, and I'll make this change. Another is, I hear your criticism, I've read it, I've thought about it, and I think you need some more information from me because I don't think you really have a complete picture here. Or thirdly, listen, I've thought about it and I ain't going to change no matter what, so you better learn to live with it. Well, that's certainly another alternative, right? Well, and those are the three reactions. Now, the way I want to be approached is I want to know on a scale of 1 to 10, and there is a 2 or a 9 as to how painful it's going to be. And then secondly, if it's a 9, I need time to prepare myself. And I've said to my wife that, honey, you can give me a little time to prepare, and I promise I'll get back here within the next 2 or 3 hours. We have a limit of about 3 hours. And so unless they're on a plane or some other foreign circumstance that wouldn't be conducive to that. But other than that, what I'm talking about is then I will get back to her and then I sit and then she gives me the criticism, whatever it may be. And my first response is to listen. The first response. Now, the reason I'm talking this through with you very carefully is that we need to develop replacement skills. That is, that whatever you learned growing up in your own family and your interaction in the family that you were raised in, if it's not functional, if it's not working, if it's not leading to the two of you getting closer together and helping become your highest and best selves, then we have to replace that behavior with another behavior. And the behavior I'm talking about right now is criticism, and we need to learn to give that criticism, and there is an art to doing it. So with my wife, for example, when she says, I've got a 9, then I get myself ready, I sit there, I listen to her, and this is the replacement skill. I say, okay, whatever the criticism was, I repeat it back to her. And then she confirms that that indeed was what her concern was, and now I know what it is. I can't always respond instantly, and so we've agreed that there'll be a little period of time where I can think about and process that, and then I'll get back to her. Now, most of the issues that we're going to deal with in marriage or other relationships are not, the child is playing in the freeway right now, and do you need 3 hours to get ready for this? Most of the deal of the time, we're going to be dealing with issues that we are upset about at the moment, and probably the least capable of dealing with at that moment. And so it's really, really wise to give yourself a minute or two to think about how you're going to process this information. And I have some other suggestions for you on how to process your criticisms.